Good evening. Tonight was an anomaly poetry reading in New Bedford, with thanks to Sarah Jane Ferreria for organizing it. And I wanted to talk about a poem I read there called In My Grandmother's Hands, which was inspired by a class I've taken called Putting Our Grandmothers on the Page, hosted and taught by Kelly Dumar, an expert at teaching fictionalized memoir and writing from pictures. I have learned so much from her, and this poem is an example of that. Although it's not just poem, it's prose poem. So I would ask your indulgence because there's a few paragraphs at the beginning before we get to the rhymes. But then there's more rhymes than I've ever written for any other poem. So thank you. In My Grandma's Hands by Catherine Lee Hamilton. My maternal grandmother, Frances Haage, was born September 30th, 1912, and was nicknamed Grama by me since I was a baby, first trying to learn how to talk. It stuck, and soon the whole family would call her Grandma or Grammy. She lived with us when I was growing up in Reading, Massachusetts, and she raised me like a second mother. We would remain close by phone even after I moved away from home until she passed in 2008. But not until after retiring at age 81 as the then oldest social worker in the state of Massachusetts. She always had time for me. She always had a kind word. She always had interest in what I was doing and what was going on in my life. And she most definitely always had a hug. Of all the things I remember about her, one of the most vivid was the look, feel, temperature, and touch of her soft, cool, familiar, and ever-comforting hands. Grandma's hands were elegant, not thin-boned, but not chunky either. The perfect size digits, paper thin skinned so that the veins showed through, but Grandma had the strongest nails I have ever seen. She touched and patted me a lot to let me know I was loved, and I touched and patted her back too. All day love, back and forth through the magic of touch, of our hands touching each other. Her hands taught me how to crochet. They bathed me when I was little and comforted me when I was sick or hurt. And they taught me how to feel the storms coming on in the bones of my fingers. They taught me not to ignore my intuitions, that Faye runs true in the firstborn daughter of the Haage family. And they taught me that white shoulders smells good on your back after a shower. As a small baby, Grandma would hold me, so soft and sweet, singing a lullaby. Oftentimes hard to get me to sleep. In her cool hands, I'm off without a peep. In my hands, I gingerly hold the whole world as I hold this sweet little baby girl. I look in her eyes, I see my future. My destiny is to be her teacher. When I grow giggly, she taught me to smile. With tickles, my laughs follow in a while. Bigger I blurt, babble, gibber, than talk. It's to Grandma's open hands I first walk. It's true, this is a late life blessing, but all my life Katie was missing. Often I will play the role of Mama. I am so proud when she calls me her Grandma. When my parents fight, they frighten me. Scared, I run to Grandma's hands and flee. I'm protected from the emotional swirl. It's safe in Grandma's hands. I am a good girl. It's not perfect in the world or here. It is the reason I am living so near. And be it family or be it stranger, I will protect the baby from danger. The shouting grew worse. They yell at me too. I can't be good no matter what I do. When I feel like nobody understands, Grandma comforts me in her sacred hands. I comfort her when their screams begin, deciding it's time the ancient ways come in, of needlework's feminine wisdom, taught mother to mother not to lose them. As I grew up, Grandma taught me the arts of sewing, crocheting, and tying knots. When my friends, school, mom, dad get confusing, you held my hands like you would never lose them. We grow connected by a deep rapport. She turns to me for maternal support. Time jumps and the baby in my hands is gone. Here stands a gorgeous, young, strong, young woman. A young woman. Grandma turned to me, spoke, "Katie, you're a raving beauty." She held me tight with such pride in her hands. In a grandmother's embrace, I'd pray never ends. My time is ending, but I am winning. My time with Katie is just beginning. We have just begun to be together, but I know that Grandma love is forever. Grandma's hands are safe, a safe, loving home to me. How I love holding my darling Katie. Are we two soulmates together through time? Our love is forever, granddaughter mine. Thank you so much.